Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today our group will be presenting a comprehensive architectural case study on one of Malaysia's most prestigious heritage building, Seri Negara. For my part, I will be walking you guys through the introduction to the building, its unique tropical architecture adaptation, and finally closing our presentation with a study overall conclusion. Let's begin. To understand what makes Seri Negara so remarkable, we have to look back to 1913 when it was completed on a prime hill enclave right here in Kuala Lumpur. Originally named King's House, it wasn't just a regular colonial building. It was purpose-built as an ultra-luxurious guest house for top-tier British royalty governors and foreign dignitaries. In fact, an interesting historical highlight is that Queen Elizabeth II stayed right here during her official visit to Malaysia for the 1989 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, commenting its status as a palace fit for world leader. Architecturally, it's a brilliant fusion of a European no-renaissance structure and local climate engineering. But here is the most interesting technical fact. Its passive cooling design doesn't just rely on open windows. It uses physics. The combination of massive masonry walls, exceptionally high ceilings, and deep wrap around verandas created a natural chimney effect. This continuously draws hot air up and pushes cool breeze through the building, keeping it comfortable long existed. Because of this architectural mystery, it is legally protected under the National Heritage Act 2005.
Next, I will present the analysis of existing environment issues on Carcosa Seri Negara. First, the thermal comfort assessment. The Carcosa Seri Negara was designed for Malaysia's tropical climate using passive design. The height ceiling was to reduce indoor heat, shadow openings to minimize direct solar heat from gaining, the clerestory windows for improved natural airflow. The cross ventilation was to enhance the indoor comfort, but the Kuala Lumpur's hot and humid climate still causes the thermal comfort on the occupants. When the peak afternoon temperatures has gained, it will reduce the occupant comfort. The heritage conservation has limits installation of modern quality system because they want to balance the required between thermal comfort and heritage preservation. Next, the natural and mechanical ventilation. The large openings was to promote natural ventilation. Cross-ventilated corridors is to improve the circulation, and the interconnected space allow continuous airflow. The clerestory windows were reopened during the restoration of Carcosa Seri Negara. Natural ventilation was to reduce dependence on the mechanical system, but the exhibition and dining areas may have limited natural airflow. The heating and conditioning system was provided to the additional ventilations, and the mechanical system were discreetly installed to protect the heritage appearance. Next, the daylighting and artificial lighting. Natural light is to reduce dependence on artificial lighting during the daytime, but on the daytime, the excessive daylight penetration may cause the glare and increase the indoor heat gain, especially near windows that facing direct sunlight. Artificial lighting system were introduced during the restoration, and the modern lighting installation was to improve visibility for visitors while being carefully integrated to preserve the building historic appearance. Next, the acoustic performance. The thick masonry walls, timber floors, and high ceilings was to help absorb and distribute sound naturally. The large open space galleries, restaurants, and event areas can create sound reflections and reverberation. The external noise from nearby roads and urban activities also affect the certain areas of the building. It is important to manage the noise level to maintain visitor comfort. The acoustic treatments are limited due to conservation requirements. Original layout buildings provide a reasonable level of acoustic separation between spaces. Lastly, the indoor air quality. It's supported by the building's natural ventilation strategy and use the breathable traditional materials. It allows moisture movement through the walls and reduce the risk of trapped humidity, mold growth, and material deterioration. But the tropical climate still presents challenges related to high humidity levels, which may affect occupants' comfort. The discrete mechanical ventilation system are for assist in maintaining indoor air quality for visitors, staff, and exhibition space. Next, I will pass it to ID.
Thank you, Haris. Next, I will explain the existing building service in Carcosa, Seri Negara. First is the electrical supply system. The original electrical system was not fully retained because it's no longer met to the safety standard. So therefore, the electrical system was upgraded while preserving the heritage value of the building. The new wiring was installed using concealed and reversible methods so that the original wall and structure were not damaged. And then next is a plumbing distribution system. This system supply clean water to the washroom, cafe, restaurant, kitchen, and maintenance area. So water flow through internal pipeline to sanitary fittings such as wash basin, toilet, and sink. Rainwater from the roof is collected through gutter and downpipe before being discharged into the external drainage system. Now I will explain the wastewater and sewerage management system. This system collects wastewater and greywater produced from washroom, wash basin, the cafe, restaurant, kitchen, and cleaning activities. The wastewater is carried through sanitary stack and underground drainage pipe to the main sewerage discharge point. For the restaurant kitchen, grease and food waste must be properly controlled before entering the drainage system. This helps prevent pipe blockage, unpleasant odor, and drainage overflow. So overall, this wastewater system ensures proper hygiene while protecting the surrounding environment. The next building service is telecommunication and data service. Modern telecommunication facility has been added to support the building operation as a heritage gallery and visitor destination. The data cable were carefully installed within existing service space so that the original heritage structure was not affected. Lastly, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, or HVAC. Since Malaysia has a tropical climate, the building does not require a dedicated heating system. Instead, it combines natural ventilation with modern air conditioning. The building wrapped around veranda, large window, French door, and shaded opening allow natural cross ventilation. So these features reduce heat gain and improve indoor comfort while maintaining the building original architectural character. Thank you.
I will explain about the adaptive use evaluation of Seri Negara. Basically, instead of letting this old colonial mansion road, Khazanah National restored it under the Warisan KL initiative and turned it into Gallery Seri Negara, a cool public heritage gallery, along with Semuka Cafe and Serai House Restaurant on the ground floor. They didn't turn it into a boring office, but they kept the original layout intact to show Malaysian independence history. Next, I will explain thermal comfort and ventilation. They had to modernize the building without breaking the law because hacking into 1930 heritage wall is strictly illegal. So, instead of installing big, ugly central air conducts, they hide slim VRF split system to keep the galleries cool and protect the old artifacts from humidity. To handle the hot tropical side, the indoor exhibition zones rely heavily on this mechanical cooling, while the air cafe sitting zones beautifully blend active aircon with the building's natural cross ventilation. Next, I will explain lighting and acoustic. With intense daylight coming through the large colonial windows, they place invisible UV filtering films on the original window glass so the old document won't fade. For the gallery light, they use low energy LED mounts on standalone frames, meaning they didn't have to drill a single screw into the historic plaster ceilings. They also fixed acoustic issue because the old upstairs timber floorboards echo footsteps. They serve this simply by laying down acoustic carpet along high traffic walkway and keeping the noise cafe downstairs physically zoned away from the quiet gallery upstairs. Lastly, I will explain water and electrical upgrades. The old leaking pipes were a huge mess and had to be completely overhauled. They routed a brand new plumbing core through hidden back corridor and secondary service line to support the busy restaurant kitchen without stressing the main historic wall. And they add the low flow fixture in the restroom to save water. Lastly, the dangerous old electrical wiring was stripped out and replaced with surface mount conduit to avoid any wall chasing. To keep it looking neat, they hide the wire inside custom protective casing paint dark green and white to blend right into the original wall string. Everything is hooked up to a smart building management system (BMS) that automatically shut off the light and aircon after closing hours to save energy.
Good day, everyone. So, my name is Akmal. Now, I want to discuss a purposes of sustainable intervention. The first, a passive design in natural ventilation enhancement. Restoration of air-heated wind parks. Fit the window, lower a transom, and high window to pre-bed the natural ventilation that was designed into Carcosa Seri Negara 19th century structure. This will help the Carcosa Seri Negara to be more sustainable. A low facility AT and ceiling fans at slow ceiling fan the match the all style of Carcosa Seri Negara. Also part solar power fan in the roof to remove air from the ET space before it gate into the main room of Carcosa Seri Negara. Microelement evaporative cooling, a bearing bed all water filter light fountain or small pool or at contrary near the window of Carcosa Seri Negara. When air pace wind are a pass over there with a surface it cool down naturally before getting into Carcosa Seri Negara. Okay, next, energy emphasis smart LED lighting and sensor. Carcosa Sarinagara will benefit for this intervention. Hatcheries illuminate rain fountain of replaces the all light by a new energy emphasis LED light inside the all fixture of Carcosa Sarinagara. This keep the field of Carcosa Sarinagara will use less energy for lighting. Wireless encompasses and daylight harvesting sensor use sensors that do not need to be wired into the all wall of Carcosa Sarinagara. Encompassing sensor automatic turn off light in area of Carcosa Sarinagara that are not being used. Daylight harvesting automatic turn down the light when there is natural light coming into Carcosa Sarinagara through its bay window. Okay, next, water conservation rainwater harvesting system. Carcosa Senegara has a site with a lot of roof space so it can collect and use a lot of rainwater. This will help Carcosa Senegara to conserve water, subterranean storage intervention, collect rainwater for the roof of Carcosa Negara and store it in tent. This keep tent out of sight, so help Carcosa Negara to conserve water. Dua a pipe system for non-potable demand. Use a system to send and collect rainwater to the toilet and garden of Carcosa Negara. Alone for heritage style, sanitary ware applied in the low floor tub and toilet in the bedroom of Carcosa Negara to use the least water. The last, energy solar technology integration. Carcosa Negara need to use a clean energy without changing it historic look. This will help Carcosa Negara to be more sustainable. PIPP on non-historic ancillary structure. The not dapat tenant directly on the main roof of Carcosa Negara. Instead, apart them on body line in the visitor interest or the parking area of Carcosa Negara. Solar, sol, or jungle tasty if solar panel need to be part on the roof of Carcosa Seri Negara use special solar salters that look like the old roof tile. This decentralized battery storage ESS store the energy collected from the panel in a special system that can be used at night to power the light and other things in Carcosa Seri Negara.
To conclude our study, Seri Negara is much more than just a beautiful old mansion. It is an irreplaceable landmark where the Malayan Constitution was signed. Our research shows that its adaptive reuse, transforming it from a historic guest house into a boutique space, is highly effective. It keeps the building's social memory alive while funding its regular maintenance. From sustainability standpoint, choosing to restore rather than demolish its massive foundation significantly cuts down on landfill waste and drastically reduces embodied carbon emission. Ultimately, Senegara proved that historic Malayan architecture can be actively contribute to a lower carbon culturally rich future. That concludes our presentation. Thank you.